The Atlanta Falcons made one of the most controversial moves of the 2024 NFL Draft, selecting Michael Penix Jr. with the 8th overall pick, just weeks after signing veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins to a $180 million deal. Now, at the time, it sparked confusion, debate, and even outrage amongst fans and analysts alike. But fast forward one season, and Penix is now firmly in the driver's seat as Atlanta's starting quarterback. With a cannon arm, elite D-ball accuracy, and a knack for thriving under pressure, Penix has shown flashes of brilliance, but also moments that raise some concerns. The question now is just whether he was worth the pick. It's whether he's the long-term answer or just a short-term spark. Today, we're breaking down why Michael Penix Jr. might be one of NFL's biggest breakout stars, or one of its most costly busts. Let's get into it. The 2024 NFL season was a roller coaster for the Atlanta Falcons. Under new head coach Raheem Morris, the team aimed to break their playoff drought and build a foundation for the future. Early signs were promising. After a 1-2 start, the Falcons surged to a 6-3 record, their best midseason mark since 2016. However, the momentum didn't last. A 4-game losing streak marked by turnovers and defensive lapses derailed their playoff aspirations. Veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins, signed to a 4-year, $180 million deal, struggled with consistency and turnovers. His inability to push the ball downfield and generate explosive plays became a major point of frustration for the offense. In Week 16, the Falcons made a pivotal change, benching Cousins in favor of rookie Michael Penix Jr., the 8th overall pick in the 2024 draft. Penix's debut against the New York Giants was impressive. He completed 18 of 27 passes for 202 yards, leading the Falcons to a 34-7 victory. His decision-making, pocket presence, and timing with receivers immediately stood out. The offense looked more fluid and dynamic. The following week, Penix faced off against second-year quarterback Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers in a thrilling shootout. Penix threw for 312 yards and 2 touchdowns, showcasing his poise and arm strength. Despite the Falcons losing 44-38 in overtime, Penix's performance stood out as a potential turning point in his development. That game, which we'll dive deeper into later, was a showcase of 2 young quarterbacks with something to prove, and ended up being one of the most entertaining matchups of the season. Penix's emergence provided a silver lining to an otherwise disappointing season. His ability to step in late in the season and perform at a high level offered hope for the Falcons' future. His chemistry with Drake London and ability to extend plays injected new life into the offense. While the Falcons finished 8-9 and missed the playoffs for the 7th consecutive year, Penix's development and the team's early season success highlighted the potential for growth. The challenge moving forward, though, will be building around Penix and addressing the team's defensive shortcomings to return to playoff contention, and making sure that they can sustain the highs that eluded them in 2024. The 2025 offseason was pivotal for the Atlanta Falcons as they transitioned to building around Michael Penix Jr. Despite his promising late-season performances, the team's offseason moves raised questions about their commitment to supporting their new quarterback. Financial constraints loomed large, with the Falcons projected to be over $8 million above the salary cap. Their flexibility in free agents was limited. This financial strain was exacerbated by the hefty contract of Kirk Cousins, who, despite being replaced by Penix, remained on the roster due to a no-trade clause. In free agency, the Falcons prioritized defensive acquisition. They signed veteran pass rusher Leonard Floyd to a 1-year deal, aiming to bolster a pass rush that ranked near the bottom of the league in sacks, and additionally, they added linebacker Divine Diablo to inject speed and youth into their aging defense. The NFL draft further highlighted the team's defensive focus. Atlanta used its limited draft capital to select defensive talents like Jalen Walker and edge rusher James Pierce Jr., both of whom could play important roles early on. One of the moves that I really liked, though, was the selection of Xavier Watts. Grabbing the Notre Dame safety where they did was excellent value. He's versatile, fast, and instinctive, and he could quickly become a starter in their secondary. Another underrated move was picking up Kobe Bryant in undrafted free agency. The former Kansas corner brings a physical edge and ball-hawking instincts, and he showed flashes of high-end talent during his college career. If he develops quickly, he could be one of those hidden gems that helps round out the secondary. But while the defensive overhaul was clear, the offense was largely untouched. Outside of extending left tackle Jake Matthews, there were no major additions in free agency or the draft to help Penix directly. That concerned quite a few people, but to be fair, maybe it didn't have to. Drake London is a legitimate number 1 wideout and should continue to grow with Penix. Darnell Mooney, when healthy, is a dangerous vertical threat and separator and could thrive in a more open offense. And of course, there's Bijan Robinson, a do-it-all weapon who can dominate in both the run and pass game. The raw tools around Penix are there. The Falcons just chose to bet on internal development rather than splashy upgrades. In summary, while the Falcons made strides to improve their defense, their limited investment in offensive support for Penix raises concerns. The coaching staff seems to be putting its faith in the pieces that are already in place. Now, it's on Penix and the offense to make that gamble pay off. Heading into the 2025-2026 NFL season, the Atlanta Falcons are officially Michael Penix Jr.'s team. There's no more quarterback controversy, no more uncertainty. The rookie season spark has ignited expectations, and with that comes pressure. So, what can we expect from Michael Penix as he enters his first full season as the starter? The upside is clear. Penix has elite traits that flashed in his limited action last year. We saw his ability to throw deep with accuracy, make tough throws under pressure, and maintain composure in big moments. As briefly already mentioned, his standout performance against Carolina in Week 18, going throw for throw with Bryce Young in a 44-38 shootout, gave Falcon fans a taste of the high-octane offense that he's capable of leading. With a full offseason of first-team reps, the potential for Michael Penix to make a big leap is real. That said, it's worth noting that this breakout came against one of the worst defenses in the league. The Panthers finished the season near the bottom in most defensive categories, so while Penix looked sharp, the level of competition had to be kept in perspective. Still, there are reasons for caution. Penix enters the year with a relatively unproven supporting cast outside of Bijan Robinson and Drake London. Kyle Pitts, once considered a generational tight end talent, is now reportedly on the trading block. The offensive line is solid but lacks elite depth, and the Falcons made few impactful additions to the offense in either free agency or the draft. That means Penix will be asked to elevate those around him, a tall order for any first-year starter. But the good news, the schedule is very manageable. The Falcons play in the NFC South, which remains one of the weaker divisions in football. So if Penix can build early momentum, and if the defense, bolstered by offseason additions like Leonard Floyd and James Pierce Jr., hold up its end of the bargain, Atlanta could surprise people. A strong start, combined with Penix's arm talent and mobility, could fuel a playoff push. That said, the margin for error is thin. If Penix struggles with turnovers, if the offensive line regresses, or if the defense fails to improve from its bottom third ranking last season, things could unravel quickly. The Falcons are betting big on internal growth rather than external additions, and that's always risky. For 2025, the ceiling for this team is 12 wins. If Penix breaks out, the defense clicks, and the Falcons steal a few key divisional games, they could make real noise in the NFC. But the floor? It's pretty low. I mean, a 5-win season is absolutely in play if injuries pile up or Penix takes a step back. I mean, that's the reality of building around a young quarterback with limited offensive reinforcements. Ultimately, Michael Penix Jr. is stepping into one of the most high-pressure situations in the NFL, not just because of where he was drafted, but because of what the Falcons didn't do to support him this offseason. But still, what he's already shown us is enough to believe that there's a real shot he becomes the guy in Atlanta. His talent is legit. Now, it's about consistency, chemistry, and how well the coaching staff builds the offense around him. The defense should be improved, the division is very winnable, and the Falcons have just enough firepower to stay in the mix. Whether they take a leap forward or fall flat will come down to one thing: Penix's development. He doesn't have to be perfect, but he does have to keep progressing. Because in Atlanta, the future isn't coming later, it's already here. And that's it for today's breakdown of Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons heading into the 2025 season. Now, I want to hear it from you. Do you think Penix will rise to the occasion and lead this team to a playoff run? Or do you think Atlanta made a huge mistake passing on another need in the draft? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL content every week, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a post. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.